Good morning. This is John Harder, another episode of live broadcast for the Billion Coin to spread the wealth of the Billion Coin and free energy. This is episode number 50 or 74. Episode number 74 today. And today's title is, why is it necessary to migrate to the new TBC wallet system? So I guess this video, is explaining why it's necessary, would be more geared towards people who are in TBC, who walked away from, which is kind of the reason we started these broadcasts, although not just for that, but these broadcasts were kind of the set up for us to reach the people that kind of walked away from TBC because of the technical difficulties that we had. Something like that can really hurt a business, as it were. Although TBC, as much as it is a business for those of us who are now promoting it and so on, but TBC is actually not a business. It's not a business. Now, banks, they are a business. With the debt-based system, that is a business. But TBC is not a business. When we reach the full potential of TBC, that would, I guess, be the potential. I was going to say that it's probably not really the full potential, and maybe it's not. I'm thinking that when we reach the full price, I was thinking of that as the full potential, but it's actually by far not the full potential. That's really only when we max out the price. But at that point, TBC will really not be much of a business. Or matter of fact, there will still be much business regarding implementation in many ways. So there can still quite a bit of business that may be generated out of the as part of the ripple effect of TBC, being a monetary system. But the for the most part, the promoting it's going to be over with, and those of us who have quite a bit of TBC, we will likely be quite occupied with with using TBC in many ways in the world. There are many needs in the world. Now, it's very easy to say it like that, because that is what we are used to, saying that there are many needs. But I have become aware as of late, through my teaching, teaching as well as my training. I spend far more time educating myself than what I do teaching and telling other people that which I have learned. It is it is quite easy to share and to communicate what we understand. Sometimes I have come across where I had worked on ideas on understanding different aspects of how the creation really works, and then I all of a sudden I realized that there is a very important component that I actually didn't understand yet. Now, why is it necessary that we understand creation? You see, the Bible, the wonderful book that it is, has been hugely edited, which was done so because of to put it at a disadvantage for people, and not only a disadvantage, but to the editing was done so that we would not understand how creation works. So there are bits and pieces of very, very valuable truth in it, but also things have been added that make it confusing. It originally wasn't confusing. Originally, the truths that were written by those who understood, those were written to be understood by other people, which would had nothing been edited, had we all had the advantage of the full potential of the training that of the scripts that originally were written before the Bible was put into book form, we would be quantumly ahead. We would be ahead in creation, but at quantum levels. And so what does that mean? That tells us that we have massive opportunities. That's what that tells us. You see, what would be the normal thing? You see, I'm just thinking about how would have I thought about, you know, learning something like that, say 20 years ago. I'd have been upset. I would have been angry that people went and did that. I'd have been angry because right away I would see all the, you know, all that we've lost, you know, how far we have fallen behind. Is that where our energy should go? Listen, how far will that get you ahead if you dwell on the losses of yesterday? How far will that get you ahead? No, it won't get you ahead. It's kind of like you are on a staircase, but you just took quite a few steps back downward. Where is success? Where is the levels of joy, the happiness, the peace, the that which gives us that inner satisfaction? Where do we find it? How far do we need to go till we find it? What are we willing to do? What are we willing? What steps are we willing to take to enjoy that kind of fulfillment in life? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to a very, very important word of truth. It's right in front of you. You are so right in, at the doorstep. There's only one thing that you need to do, and that is to let go of that closed heart, let go of the beliefs of yesterday. I know that many people are fearful of letting go of their old beliefs. I know I was, and I'm sure I was quite the average person. The only thing that is keeping us bound to, to the lack, to the limitation, the only thing that's keeping us from stepping into the life of true fulfillment is our old beliefs. And maybe you think that you have already, you have completely let go. If you are not feeling that fulfillment within you, then your subconscious mind is still playing havoc with you with certain beliefs of that you have not let go of. It is for true success, for the level of success to come into us, for us to become part of. What are we saying here? We're saying that all the success you could possibly ever want is already right here. You already have it in you. Let him who has eyes to see, let him see. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. What does that mean? That means that we have to take a step in our life to literally make a decision to open up to what the truth actually is without fear. So why are we working on this? Why? Okay, what I'm trying to say is, why is this something that we have to work on and to try to establish? Okay, the reason is this, is because the world that we were born into was overlaid with a false concept of life, with a false concept of how life works. I'm going to again refer to the Bible, which I quite frequently do. I will say it without any fear. I used to be what is called a Christian, and I don't really want to go and say I'm not a Christian, but I am not going to say that I am a Christian. Why would I say that? Well, see, here's the thing. Once I understood more about creation, once I understood that creation does not happen out there, creation happens in here. The world that you see is what we all collectively have created. Is it the world that we want? Well, not really. Not really. Well, then we must begin creating the world that we want. Who wants to be a debt slave to a false overlay of reality? Why? Why have bricks, plastic bricks that look exactly like gold, and pretend that that is gold? Why would we do that? Why would we do that? Does it have the value of gold? Well, you see, the belief systems that have been fed to us through the churches, through the schools, through the environment at home. And let me say this, that there may be the odd home where the parents understood and were creating the right environment. And that, by that meaning, is that the thoughts flow correctly. The thoughts are the correct creation. The children pick up that vibration. At what age? At what age does a baby begin to pick up the vibrations of your thoughts? Well, at conception. At conception. That's when creation begins. When a mother is pregnant and she begins to worry about that baby, she begins to worry if the baby is going to be okay, if it's going to be born normal, if it's going to, and she begins to worry that the baby is not okay. She is throwing mental bricks at that baby. Worries are always negative. Worries create an awkward vortex. Whenever we are worried about something, we are creating an awkward vibration of our thoughts, and creation is not able to form it into a physical form that is helpful to us. Why is it necessary? Why is it necessary to migrate to the new blockchain? It's the same thing. The old system is not working. The old system is failing. We tried that last year. Well, we have been in it until now, until migration. And so for those of us who already know, well, we understand. We understand that the old blockchain is going to be shut down. It's going to be gone. The exact same thing is true in our lives. The exact same thing is true. The fake layer that is overlaid on top of reality, that has been done by the banking system, by the major corporations and all of those who wanted to take control of the world. They wanted to had in mind to take control of all humanity. That layer is going to disappear. We need to be rooted in the truth when it does. Many people, when the old system collapses, aren't going to know where to go. The same thing as if people do not migrate to the new wallet system who are in TBC, their access to the old coins are going to be gone. This is a prime example. What we're seeing here is a prime example of what we're facing in life. So what do we need? What do we need? We need to understand. We need to understand. Listen, when someone asks you, do you about something that, you know, whatever it is that you are working towards, or you, you know, you're working on, let's say, how do we put it? But, you know, are you going to be, let's just say somebody asks you, are you going to be successful? Or are you successful? And you say, well, I hope so. You're gonna have to get more positive than that if you're going to really end up having the success you want. It's not a maybe. It's not a maybe. It is not a hope so. It is not something that depends on, well, whether that goes right, and if that other plan that I have, if it falls out, you know, if it goes correctly, and if. Listen, what if? What are those ifs? It's insecurity. You do not know. You do not know what you're talking about. Creation isn't a maybe. What you create, what you think you create. If you have a head and a mind full of maybes, you're not creating anything. If it's full of hope cells, you're not creating. That's not creation. Well, it is creation of some sort, but it is not creating success. It begins in Jerusalem. It begins at that point where you make a clear-cut decision. You make a clear-cut decision that you are completely open to understand the truth, and that old beliefs can no longer control, you know, your vibrations, because what you believe to be true is what you are creating. When a person is diagnosed with cancer, and that person decides that it's not true, he does not have cancer, and he truly believes that, the cancer goes away. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It has to leave. But if he questions it, could the doctor be right? Then it'll proceed. If he goes and says to the doctor, well, what can I do? Well, you can take chemotherapy. Chemotherapy, by the way, it weakens it. It'll kill you far quicker than if you don't bother with it. But if you believe, if you are convinced deep within that that will cure it for you, then it will. This is why some people who go through that horrible process actually become free from cancer. The chemotherapy has nothing to do with that healing. Zero, nothing to do with it. It is their faith that is healing them. Creation cannot happen with drugs. There is nothing artificial that we can make with our hands that is going to create. Nothing. It is not possible. Creation is on the spiritual level. It is your thoughts and your beliefs that create. They will give you the inner feeling deep within, and that what you believe and feel within you is what you are creating in your life. So if you want to be successful, create it inside. It will show up all around you. If you have a compassion to help people, listen, see those people with all the success that you want for them. See those people enjoying the those things that you are and visualizing that you want to help them with. See them as being very joyful and happy and grateful. But you know what? Your job is not finished if you just give them a fish. You give them a fish, they can eat. But you gotta teach them how to fish. If we just, like, let's say we have a lot of TBC, and I want to really help people. And I say, well, okay, I'm just going to give most of my TBC to some organization, and they're going to distribute it, and that's it. That's end of my, I've done. Really? Have you helped anybody? Have you really helped anybody? If we don't teach a person how to fish, we have not really helped them. Every person that has been born into this world, like you and me, they all have been conditioned. Their minds have been conditioned like ours were. The same layer of fake beliefs and all of the fake, they've been exposed to all of the same things. We need to bring the program along to them and show them where the true joy of creation can be found. They are already in it. It's already there. Everything is already here. There is nothing that we can ask for that we don't already have. Then why aren't we enjoying it? Because we are keeping ourselves shut from it. It's already in you. You already have it. We must let go of all of the old beliefs and believe in the creation. You know, another verse from the Bible, the very, very first verse that you can find in the Bible. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. What did God really create? Earth, this globe, is one with the entire universe out there. It's one. But what did God create? Let me explain that verse. In the beginning, at the day of the birth of the baby, God created a body and a mind, heaven and earth, mind and body. Your mind is your heaven. Everything that you create, everything that comes into your life, it is created in heaven, and so it happens on earth. In your life, it comes into your life. You must stop projecting the power out there that you have inside. Creation is not out there. It's inside. It's inside. All right. Let's migrate to the new blockchain, to the new wallet system, and let's fully migrate to the creative powers that we already possess. We already have them. Let's stop blocking. Let's stop blocking those out by old, fake, false beliefs. You need to ask yourself, why do I believe these things? Why do I believe those? Whose beliefs do I carry? Are they even my beliefs? Maybe they are just beliefs that I have heard from others and I kind of adopted them to be mine. We are creators. Let's create. Wonderful things are ahead. Wonderful things. And we can start enjoying them today. Today. There's a verse that says that this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. And what day is that? It's the day that you let go of all of the false beliefs and all of that, and you open yourself up to the truth, and you are finally willing to be your own creator, taking full responsibility for everything that happens in your own life. And then be willing to share that joy and those beliefs, that creation, with other people who we all know have also been misled. That doesn't mean we go and argue with them. And listen, arguing has no place. If you're a person who goes arguing with people that I am right and you are wrong, you're missing the point of creation. You're completely missing the point, guys. You can't get anywhere that way. Not only are you not helping that person, you are destroying your own creation, your own creativity. It's never about who's right or wrong. Never, ever is it about that. All right, so the reason we need to migrate to the new blockchain as TBCians, as TBC people, is because we are creating a new world. We are creating a new economy on a global scale. People, this is a very, very big undertaking from the human standpoint. But from the standpoint of creation, it's easy. It's easy. So let us move forward. For those of you watching this video, I hope you have received some inspiration. And let me just say this. If you are wondering what kind of a fake world I've been talking about, what kind of false beliefs and all that, well, let me refer you to blog.thebillioncoin.info. Now, you might not find all of the types of information that I've been talking about sometimes, but it will give you the basics of what type of a world you are living in and why there is this fake layer over top of reality. Okay? My encouragement to you is that you educate yourself. Use that blog, read it, study it, and really dive in. And you know, my friend and I, we were talking yesterday, and we got talking about that maybe in the future we might even create a literally a training program on about these points that I've been talking about, because there is such great need of people to gain understanding of where the creation actually happens, why why we live in the world that we do. And it's hard for people to let go of those old beliefs, thinking that the creator is up there somewhere, and we are trying to make connection with him, to ask him to bring the things into our life that we want. But he's in here. Okay, so that is, if we do that, we will, you know, we will be sharing more about that if we actually do proceed with that. At this point, my mission is to create those electricity units, and that is a twofold mission, to help people. I have an absolute passion for helping people, and also we want to have a actually maybe the training program would be very necessary to go along with that. I know that our blog has very much information on it. It doesn't very much go in depth into the spiritual stuff, though. Okay, so and so if you're watching this and you, like I said, the blog.thebillioncoin.info, you will find very much information about all this. And of course, if you go to my channel, which I believe I have listed down in the description, if not, I'm going to check it. If I haven't, then I will put it there. You will find more videos that where I touch on a lot of these things more. Okay, so with that said, I think I'll sign off again. I appreciate very much that you hanging out with me. Romeo, I appreciate very much that you hang out with me this morning here. Marjorie Harder, thank you very much for being here. And we got Nana, Nina. Nina, thank you very much as well for hanging out with me this morning. I don't know if I've seen you before. It's a pleasure to meet you. And Pedro, Crypto Review as well. Thank you very much. Stephen Coffey, thank you also for hanging out with me. Appreciate it very much. And then we have, I guess that's all of them. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I truly hope that I have been able to inspire you in some way, and that it has been a help to you. All right. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day or morning or evening or whatever it is where you are. Peace.